Hey, good morning, everybody. Saturday morning live coming at you from the e-commerce business school. This is Coach Kurt Johnson on behalf of Ann Sieg and Brian Cummings and all the faculty here at the e-commerce business school, including Kay Curtis. So welcome, Kay. Thank you for being with us today.
Glad to be here.
All right. Hey, I'll give you a better introduction here momentarily, but I'm going to get the slide out so everybody knows they're in the right place at the right time with the Saturday morning live presentation here at the e-commerce business school. Our desire is to be an empowering, mentoring community that's results driven for you. And one of those things that make that happen is mindset. We're going to be talking about mindset today. Hi, Kathleen. Hi, Kimberly. Hi, Brian. Feel free to ask any questions, whether you're watching this live this morning for Kay or if you're watching the recording, that's totally cool too. We're going to be bringing you some real meaty mindset stuff that you can bite into. I had this conversation over and over again, and just again with some of our staff yesterday. Most of the games here. So hopefully we caught your attention. Listen to this. If you're struggling in your business, more often than not, there's something going on up here that could make an adjustment. But before we get into that, I want to welcome all of our new members here at the e-commerce business school as you keep pouring in. We love having you. We love getting to know you. We love hearing your stories, and just come on in and get to know the people here. We'll give you some opportunity to do that even in the days ahead. So without any further ado, I want to introduce Kay Curtis. She's been part of a following of Ann for many, many years. I have a slide here, Kay, showing you training at one of our live events, then receiving your certification. We have a full.
I'm not seeing your shared screen, Kurt. If I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's fine. That's fine. I don't think you can.
Okay.
I
Just want to make sure.
Yeah, with us on Zoom and how I connect all the electrons.
Sorry,
here.
didn't mean to interrupt. I just want to make sure that.
No, I appreciate it. In fact, hey, Rich is here. Kathleen is here. Make sure is our sound and our audio coming through okay. So give us some feedback there. I'll jump over onto Facebook. I'll also be looking for questions for you, Kay, as you dig into your training here momentarily. Okay. So welcome, right. Debbie. Awesome. Welcome, Lisa. So Kay got certified. We have a full certification program here through our business. She's an accomplished e-commerce marketer, and what she really specializes in is in the whole mindset stuff. So again, if you're just rolling in, this is Coach Kurt Johnson. You're at the e-commerce business school for a Saturday morning live, where we try to provide the training and the encouragement, the empowerment, and the mentoring that you need to get to where you want to go in your life. And a lot of that is the head game, and that's what we're going to be talking about today. We'll also be doing a commercial later. If you want to meet Kay at one of these live events, here's some of her training along with Brian Cummings and Ann and the rest of us in the days ahead. But before that, let me go ahead and say, Kay, I really appreciate it. You taught on mindset both through venues online like this, and you've also taught mindset at our live events. I know you're a coach. You're one of our accomplished coaches in the e-commerce business school, and people just rave and say, yeah, wow. And I like that so much, Kay, because I myself am a butt kicker.
Yes, you are.
So I enjoy having the camaraderie of people that can really get into other people's heads and get rid of some of that stinking thinking. And it never ends. I still got some, Kay, so I'm looking forward to getting another impartation from you today. So, Kay, take her away. I'm on the slide with the mindset, retain your brain, and just let me know when to switch slides. So welcome, everybody. I'll keep an eye on the panel for questions too.
Okay, good morning, everybody. Mindset is something that's really near and dear to my heart, and it's something that is probably accounts for, I'm going to be really aggressive and say 90 to 95% of your success. And unfortunately, most of us spend all of our time on the 5 to 10% of the mechanics and learning how to do the process. And if we don't get our head in the right space, we're building our business, we're going to be paddling upstream. And that's not what you want to do. It's so much easier if you get your head in the right space. Then guess what? You go with the flow. You're paddling down. You don't even need to paddle. You can just steer the boat where it needs to go. And you will see phenomenal accomplishments in your business if you take the time to get your head straight. So let's go to the next slide, Kurt.
And Lynn, your neighbor, says hello, okay? And welcome, Elizabeth. Welcome, Susan.
Okay. So this is something that, everyone hears about the law of attraction. It's really real. Okay. Your thought is energy. And I'm also a trained energy therapist with the Simply Healed method. And I learned I've always been into kind of looking at things more naturally. I love to use essential oils and different kinds of things. Not, I love Western medicine. I think they've done phenomenal things. I had a knee replacement last June, which I could have never done without the advancement of Western medicine. But where I can, I like to do things on the natural side with herbs and oils and different things. And so I was intrigued quite a while ago with energy healing and working with that. If you've heard of Reiki or whatever, it's along those lines, but it's a whole different modality. But I understood early on that our thoughts are energy and they have a lot of power. So I want to read this quote. Life is an echo. What you send out comes back. What you sow, you reap. What you give, you get. What you see in others exists in you. This is a really important one. When you get really angry at somebody or something about someone else really irritates you, you need to take a moment and stop, because probably the reason it irritates you is it's because it's something that's ingrained in you that you don't like about yourself. And you easily recognize it in somebody else. But that's also should give you a clue that, hey, maybe I need to introspect and look, what is it about me? Remember that life is an echo. It always gets back to you, so give goodness. And that is true. If you don't like what's happening in your life, you need to look inside more than outside, because you're drawing to you circumstances, people, events, things because of the energy that you put out. It's the law of attraction, and you can't, it's law. It's physics law, and there's nothing you can do about it. So the more you understand it, the more you are in control of it instead of being controlled by it. So let's go to the next one.
Excellent, Kay. Good stuff. Rill says, you and me both. Debbie says, woman after my own heart. So,
so some food for thought. One of the best books that I have ever read is called As a Man Thinketh. This was written over 100 years ago, and it's still prevalent today. And there's kind of a new version with some called The Secrets of As a Man Thinketh by Adam Mortimer, who's a friend of mine. And he kind of expounds on it. He's actually a coach. He coaches in mindset too. And so anyway, I want to read a couple of quotes from the book just to, again, get your head in the right space and help you to understand the power of getting control of how you think. Every man is where he is by the law of his being. The thoughts which he has built into his character have brought him there. And in the arrangement of his life, there is no element of chance, but all is a result of a law which cannot err. So if you don't like what's going on in your life, you're in total control by what you send out. Another quote, all that a man achieves and all that he fails to achieve is the direct result of his own thoughts. Individual responsibility must be absolute. As he thinks, so he is. As he continues to think, so he remains. So let's go to the next slide. So a great attitude. Oh, by the way, this is my dad. He's 89 years old. Wow. He's sitting on a chair at my family's beach house on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. He loves that place, and and this is the epitome of my dad.
And Kay, your family, I'm going to interrupt just for a second,
yeah.
And your family is so important to you. Why don't you take just a moment, if you want to, and share a little bit about your life transition right now, and then dive back into this.
Yeah, well, my dad's 89, my mom's 84, and they've lived in the home in Maryland where they moved when I was 15. So they've been there over 50 years. And it's not a safe house for elderly people, and it's way too big. And so I have I'm the oldest of 6 girls. And so my sisters at the beginning of the year, we were very, very concerned as my dad is aging that he was going to tumble. There's a huge flight of steps, and we were really afraid of him falling. So in February, we always do a big clean on our family beach house. And we had discussed as sisters that we were going to sit down and have a heart-to-heart with my folks while we were there, because there was 3 of us there, 3 of the 6. And so that actually unfolded very naturally. And we were able to express our concern to our parents about keeping them safe so we can keep them around for as long as possible. We know they're in the winding down years of their life. And so one of the days we drove over to Raleigh, North Carolina. And I already have two sisters that live there and one nephew in the area. Well, another sister from Ohio had found a new development in Raleigh area that actually they mow the lawn and everything. It's a perfect. We went over and it was just perfect. And I loved the floor plan that my folks picked. The only problem for us is that my husband likes to do woodworking and he's also an HVAC mechanic. I don't know that he's going to do that much down there, but there's a possibility. And most HOAs are not going to allow you to run a business or set up a workshop, build a building, whatever. So that wasn't going to work for us, but that area felt right. So we started looking. So the last 2 weekends, we've been down in North Carolina looking at houses. And last weekend, we bought a house.
That's
And
awesome.
so, yeah, we're really excited. And I have another nephew moving down there. So we are in the process of decluttering 35 years of crap at my house, which is, we've been needing to do this for years, but you never had the incentive because where are you going to put it? Where is it going to go? Well, now it's like, okay, we're boxing this stuff. This is going to the new house. This is going to Goodwill. This is going to trash. And it's been amazing how decluttering my physical life has helped declutter my brain. And it's really helping declutter me so I can focus more on my business. So anyway, so we got exciting things coming. We settle May 17th. My husband probably won't retire for a year, so I have a year to declutter and a year to gradually move my stuff down. Our home in Maryland is paid off, so we will have a mortgage again for about a year. But when we sell our home in Maryland, we'll pay off the house down there and be mortgage free again. So
Okay, that's awesome. I want to highlight a couple things there. I wanted you to tell your story on purpose, besides just to let people get to know you as one of our key members of the e-commerce business school and all that. But a lot of our members are caring for aging parents, and so having the income, the freedom, the flexibility to. I just moved to Florida a few months ago. It's really the e-commerce business in fulfilling what kind of lifestyle you want is really a vehicle to make that happen, along with the whole family dynamics and the culture here at the e-commerce business school of getting family involved in business and partnerships and all that is just really, really great. And you're an epitome of that. You're a role model in that. Just want to thank you for honoring your parents and enjoying this lifestyle and what you're teaching today. As you said at the beginning of this presentation, in case you just rolled in, this is Kay Curtis, one of our certified trainers here at the e-commerce business school. You can find out more about e-commerce business school by going to www.joinebs.com. But we're also going to be telling you a way that you can meet some of our staff and get engaged in some live events later. But so thank you for that interruption, Kay. I'm still on the slide with your dad here. Back to your teaching.
No, that's fine. It's exciting to me because I'm at the stage of my business where I have a business partner, Sarah Sudas, who I met through the e-commerce business school, and we have become best buddies. And it's so fun to have a buddy to build this business with. It just really is. And it can be a spouse. It can be, our husbands get along well. It's just really kind of a neat thing. But we're at the point now in our business where we've done all the programs and we've done them ourselves, and we're ready to scale and get help. And moving to Raleigh, I have family there that could potentially, this could be a source of extra income for them as they help me build this business. And so that's exciting for me too, that in addition to scaling my business, I will be able to help family in ways that would be useful for them too. So anyway, this slide on my dad, this is the epitome of my dad. My dad is like this gentle giant. He's 6'3", very quiet. My mom was always, my mom would say the threat, you wait till your dad gets home, and we just laugh because it wasn't my dad that did the discipline. It was my mom. But anyway, so that was never a threat. But my dad is just, this is so him. A great attitude becomes a great day, which becomes a great month, which becomes a great year, which becomes a great life. And that is my dad. That just describes my dad. He's always been a positive thinker. All right, let's go to the next slide. So the first challenge with mindset is to become very aware of your thoughts. Now, this is the beauty of this. This doesn't require any extra time in your day. It's just awareness, okay? Pay attention to your thoughts. Keep track. Do they tend to be more positive or negative? How do you respond when an event happens in your life, big or small? What is your initial reaction? Is it positive? Is it negative? If you find that they're more negative than positive, you know what you need to do. You got to work on replacing them with positive thoughts. If they are more positive, be aware when a negative thought pops in, because like Kirk said, we all have stinking thinking. I've been doing mindset and studying it and that for 20 years. That doesn't stop me. I suffer from depression. I have issues with that. It's something that I have to work on all the time. And so while I tend to be on the more positive than negative side, that doesn't mean that negativity doesn't come into my life. Okay, it does. But how you react to that negativity and what you allow. Now, I'm going to do a little trick. I did a little Facebook Live in our practice group because we're all learning how to do these. And everyone loved it. And it just really hit me. It was my trainer from my Simply Healed Energy. She does these little energy shot videos. And I was watching one a few weeks ago, and it was the coolest thing. And it's so simple. So when you have a negative thought come in your head, okay, it's on the stage of your brain, you got to get it off. Well, remember, thoughts are energy. Guess what? All you have to do is lean back. You are now out of the energy wave of that negativity, and it can just flow on by and not stay put in your head. You don't even have such a simple thing, you know? And I remember after I did it and shared it on a little page, I had all these, oh, wow, that's so cool. I can do that. I can just lean back. I can just lean back anytime it comes. So that's just I didn't put it in the slides, and I'm probably going to do a Facebook Live on it. That'll be in the group, but I wanted to share that with you guys first. So you need to work on replacing them, be aware of any negative thoughts, and nix it. Get it out of there immediately. Flip it. Flip it. If you automatically react to a situation negatively, instead of mulling that negativity, stop it right there. And one of the easiest ways to stop it is to turn around and ask the question, what am I supposed to learn from this? Every experience that we have is to help us learn and grow. And so if we stop and realize this is an educational opportunity and say, what am I supposed to learn? Your whole perspective changes on the situation. And now you're looking for ways to grow, which is a positive thing. Okay, so let's flip. I'm going to leave you a final learning tip. If you join EBS and become part of our group, first place, you're going to love the community because it's so supportive and it's just an awesome place to be. But there's a lot to learn. None of what we teach here is hard, but it takes work. You've got to be willing to work. This is not a get rich quick by any stretch of the imagination. But there's a lot to learn, and getting it in the right order and processing it. And one of the best things that I've found, because I love to teach, and if you approach all of your learning from the perspective that you're going to turn around and teach it to somebody else, it doesn't matter whether you really do teach it to somebody else. You're teaching yourself, if nothing else. But if you have it in your mind that you have to turn around and explain to somebody else what you're learning, it changes something in your brain. You look at things different, you take different notes, you actually internalize and organize and will remember better, because your brain knows that you're going to have to turn around and teach this. So you have to understand it. You have to be able to access these files quickly. You have to be able to talk coherently. And so you just organize differently. You just think differently. So that's my mindset tip. That's my introduction to mindset. There's a lot more to it. I actually taught a class for EBS last year ago, April, I guess. Or maybe it was two. I don't even remember. Must have been. No, it was a year ago, April, because it was just a couple months before I had my knee replaced. And I did a whole class on mindset and manifestation. And it's just, I love the topic. It's really fun. And so hopefully we'll be able to do some of that as we go forward. So anyway, now what I want to talk to you about real quick, I'm giving you a heads up. You guys are the first to hear this. One of the things that I love about EBS is they look for fun ways to encourage you to build your business. There's nothing more fun than a challenge. And so we've got and EBS is known for their live events. And while a lot of times they give you the opportunity to attend virtually, which is awesome, so that you can take advantage of the education, there is nothing like being at a live event in person. When I joined, or when we switched to the e-commerce business school in 2015 and I started building my business, I attended every live event available to me for the first year and a half. And that's where because of those events is where I met my business partner. And we are now in the process of actually physically, legally merging our businesses instead of just having a joint venture relationship. And the networking is, the training is phenomenal. It's over the top. It always is. It always over delivers, but nothing compensates for the networking that you get and then people that you meet face to face. The Facebook groups are great too, but there's nothing like the energy and the synergy that you create when you're meeting face to face. So we've got an event coming up, which Kurt's going to talk to you about in a little bit, coming up in July. We call it Trifecta. And we're going to have a race to Minnesota. So you can go to the next slide. And the Trifecta focuses on, right now it's focusing on Shop Your Way to Wealth, online arbitrage, and book flipping, right, Kurt? Okay. And some in our community are doing POD and other things. This race, so let's go to the next one. Everybody can participate in this race. Okay. It doesn't matter which EBS program you're implementing. It doesn't matter if you are able to physically come to Minnesota. What does matter is that you move your business forward. And the Race to Minnesota challenge is a great way to make that happen. You can watch the growth that happens in your business. It's just phenomenal. We did this for my first event that I attended in September of 2015. There was a Race to Minnesota. And I decided, okay, I'm doing this. Not only did I decide to do it, I decided, I live in Maryland. I decided I'm driving from Maryland to Minnesota so that I can scan my way there, because I was doing Shop Your Way to Wealth at that time, and scan my way home. And so my husband said, you're not driving that by yourself. So he took off work, drove with me, flew home from Minnesota because he had to be to work, and then flew back to Minnesota and drove home with me so that I could attend this event and so that I could drive up and drive back. And the funny thing is, as I was driving back, the car was so packed with stuff that I had found. And I was posting and sharing on the Facebook page as I went, what the car looked like and all that kind of stuff. And I got to the point where we were just packed to the gills and we weren't home yet. And I said, I don't know. I don't have any more room to scan. I guess I'm going to have to stop scanning. And Brian Cummings, our head coach, says, why don't you put your husband on a bus and then you can fill up his seat? My husband has never forgot that, by the way. Whenever I talk about Brad, he says, is he the one that wanted to put me on a bus? Anyway, I did not do that. But my husband is also one of the greatest packers of all time. And so while I thought the car was packed, how he rearranged, I was able to scan my way home. It was awesome.
Okay, let me ask you this. We got Debbie Kane says, I absolutely loved our workshop. Beth says, live events are so informative and fun. Candida says, live events are priceless. It's a lot of kudos there. I'm just curious, so maybe you don't remember, didn't track it, did the scanning and selling that you did on the way back pay for your investment into going to the workshop and learning more and escalating? It did all of that transpire for you?
I don't remember exactly what happened, but I know that because of the Race to Minnesota, my goal was to hit $10,000 in sales. So I started in July scanning. And so by September, I think it was like maybe the third week in September, my goal was to hit $10,000 in sales by the time I got to Minnesota. I think I was at 13 by the time I got there because of the challenge, because of being, having that competitive, you're really only competing with yourself. You're not competing against anybody else, but it's kind of fun to play and see what everybody else is doing. So as long as you're doing better than what you did last week, you're doing great. So there's no question. And that's the other thing that I noticed, Kurt, too, is I have always, our basic programs will teach you what you need to do and be successful. My problem is I'm not comfortable with my learning curve by myself. I want to move faster. And so what I have found is that by accessing coaching and attending the live events, I'm able to accelerate my business exponentially as long as I implement what I'm coached or what I learn. Implementation is the key. And so what I have found in my experience with EBS is I have taken coaching on every program that I have ever engaged in. And I started with Shop Your Way to Wealth. I went to book flipping. I added wholesale. I'm doing POD. And Sarah and I together are doing our own branded product. G actually is the one that spearheaded that. But every time I have attended an event or gotten coaching, if I implement what I learn, I usually recover that investment within 2 to 4 weeks of implementing.
And thank you, Kay, for that answer. And I think you answered it generically, but Lynn specifically would want to know if you've already been to a trifecta, would you go again?
Absolutely. Even though I have, so when I went to September, event wasn't called Trifecta then. I went to the Shop Your Way to Wealth workshop. That was where we introduced book flipping, and I took that. In January, I was back in San Diego doing book flipping again and Shop Your Way to Wealth. And, in April, every time you go, because your experience is putting you in a new place. And so you learn new things, you understand new things better, you pick up things. And again, the networking. I would go for the networking alone. Even if I've been through the classes 10 times, it's not that you can't learn, because people ask questions, you think, oh, wow, I never thought of that before, which you may miss if you're not there. But the networking that you get, you talk to somebody, they give you this is how I'm doing it. This is how I'm doing it. There's just no price you can put on that,
Awesome.
in ways that moves your business.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to go to the slide with the gold looking wreath thing, and let's go ahead. We're heading to the bottom of the hour, so guys, we'll probably end up going another 5-10 minutes, a little bit long today on the Saturday morning live, but it's a lot of fun.
We'll move along here. So what we're going to do to execute our race to Minnesota is that we are going to have weekly meetups on Wednesday at 12 o'clock, and I will Central Time. I will be conducting those. We will be doing things like I'll be giving you more mindset tips. We may be doing spotlights on people of how they're doing in the race. We're going to do training tips, and we're going to have a weekly winner. Now, we're still fleshing this out, so I'm not going to tell you what the prizes are or how that's going to happen, because we started this, Kurt, last Thursday?
We move fast.
We move fast. That's one thing. I just jump and go. So we will be meeting every Wednesday, starting next Wednesday, for 10 weeks, which will take us through July 10th, which is the week before the trifecta starts. So you're going to have 12 weeks to really focus on your business and really just so let's go to the next slide. Okay, so these are your action steps. Okay, so let's go to the next one. First thing you're going to do is post a map from your home to Minnesota in the EBS group. I did this when I decided I was going to drive. And when Ann saw that, she says, okay, everyone post maps. Doesn't matter whether you're going to fly, doesn't matter whether you're driving, doesn't matter how you're getting there, it doesn't matter if you're going. Post a map of what the route would be from your home to Minnesota. So you're going to post a map. We're going to get all this set up in the Facebook page so you know exactly where to do it. Second, I'll go to the next slide. You need to state a declaration of intent in the EBS Facebook group. What do you want to accomplish by July 19th? This is so important. This goes back to mindset. This is putting out an intention, saying it in words, writing it down. The power of that is phenomenal. So let's go to the next slide. I keep interjecting mindset stuff here. I just can't help it. When you declare an intention, you gain the support of your subconscious mind, and the universe starts working to make that happen. That is why this part is so important. Okay, next slide. You're going to write a brief strategy. It doesn't help to have a declaration of intent if you don't define the steps that you need to take to make that happen. You have to be, just because you put out the intent doesn't mean that the universe is going to do it for you. You still have to do it. The energy is just going to create the system, create the opportunities for you to be able to accomplish that. But you still have to work, and it helps to create the plan. Now, the plan may not go the way you think it's going to go. That's normal too. But the fact that you create a plan shows that you're serious about that intention. Next. This is what the intention and the plan does. It answers the questions: what, who, where, when, why, and how. Very simple. Doesn't need to be complicated. Don't overthink it. Just throw something out there. I threw out, I wanted to hit $10,000 in sales. What did that mean for me? I had to go out scanning 3 to 4 days a week, ship 1 day a week. That was my plan for the 6 weeks that I had to do that. Okay. Next one. You're going to report daily what you accomplish on your strategy plan using the end of day tracker in the EBS back office. This is really important. Accountability is really what makes a difference. You're in business for yourself and you can be self-motivated. But if you know that you have to report every day what you've done in your business, then, or even what you don't, I mean, because you can take days off. You need those times of refreshing and stuff. Like, I don't work Sundays typically. Okay. That's my day to go to church. That's my day to be with family. It's my day to relax. So on my end of day report, I said, Sunday day, went to church. Yeah, this is what I did. But knowing that you have to report in daily, when you're sitting on your butt thinking, I really don't feel like going out scanning today. Ooh, but I got to report in today that don't want to report that I sat on my butt. I was a couch potato today. And it helps to motivate you to get you out. Okay, so the final thing that I want to, next slide. Accountability is the glue that ties commitment to results. It really is. This return and report function is one of the things I think that makes EBS stand out from the rest of the crowd, because we have the ability to be able to return and report. And there's so many things within our community that help us do that. That accountability is really what keeps people on track. So that's it. I'm going to quit talking, Kurt. I'm going to send it back to you. And for those that join the Race to Minnesota, I'll see you next Wednesday.
Okay, this has been awesome. Thank you so much. Just kind of impromptu. I've been thinking about this, and after you just said that, I have to do it. I got the 10-day accountability boot camp up. And anybody that decides to participate with you and track with you, and what a privilege. Seriously, what a privilege to track with Kay for 12 weeks going into the event, whether you go or not, to begin to cultivate that mindset that she has of a winner and a successful entrepreneur. I mean, what a privilege set before you. And if you want to get even more traction right out of the gate, and you are going to participate, I'm just going to take you at your word. I will give you a credit for a boot camp that starts Monday. This coming Monday. You just let customer service know. If you put just say, hey, I want to be part of the boot camp. That's support at ecommercebusinessschool.com or from your back office. Okay, there were a couple questions here I do want to get to on the Facebook page too before I get into the pragmatics of how to come to the event. I will tell people about that. Kimberly asks, in the EBS school, yes, Kimberly, we will be doing this in the main EBS group page. We want everybody. If you're listening to the sound of K&I's voice today, we want you in the e-commerce business school group page. Come on in, and that's where we will facilitate the Race to Minnesota. It will be from that group where everybody's in there. And Robert asked, will the meetings be recorded? Yes, you can go back then to the Facebook group page and find the recordings, Robert, and jump right in there. I don't know that Robert Porter is an awesome member of our school. He fills out that end-of-day tracker every day, well, almost every day, like Kay said. So, okay, working on funds, EOD. I'm just scanning, looking for any more questions. Yes, Lynn, that is right. Hashtag Race to Minnesota. We're actually launching this. This is kind of a pre-launch or a preview of what will start next Monday at noon Central on the EBS, E-Commerce Business School, Facebook group page. And Kimberly
No, that would be Wednesday, Kurt, not Monday.
Oh, did I say Monday? I'm sorry. Yeah. The boot camp starts Monday, but this race starts on Wednesday. Okay, I think I caught all the questions. If I didn't, just ask them again, guys. I'm going to jump right in here and just give a little detail. Say, hey, I want to come to Minnesota in July, and I'm going to give you a link to research that. In fact, it's posted in this post here if you want to know more about the event that we're racing to, if not physically, mentally, and emotionally to build our businesses. It's in July 19th, 20th, and 21st. We'd usually do a social meet and greet the night before. That's a lot of fun. You'll probably be able to meet Kay in the hot tub. And so and then you can go to ebsliveevents.com and find out all about the trifecta that is coming up. And so, again, if you have any questions, you can also just find out more about the school at joinebs.com. So, Kay, again, I want to say thank you for your influence and your role modeling. Such a great winner's success mindset within our community here. And I'm going to go to the Facebook page. Any other question? By the way, guys, if you want to ask questions and you're listening to this recording, you weren't able to make it live with us on Saturday morning, just put them in there. Take care, and we will do our best to help you with that. Frank says, hey, I love the race to Minnesota. I'm going to commit and join the race. Excellent, Frank. You're welcome. Yeah, guys, really, truly, 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 track with Kay. Let's move forward. Let's do this thing and have some fun over the next few weeks. So, Kay, final thoughts. Thank you for being here. Anything else you want to add to close out?
No, I just hope you'll take advantage of it. You want to build your business. This is how you do it. Like I said, whether you can attend the trifecta or not, participate in the challenges. This is one we're kicking off. Look for more in the future. It's really what makes part of building your business fun and makes it feel not so alone. Even though you are an entrepreneur, you need people, you need community.
Excellent. All right, and one last final thought. I love Kay Curtis's name. My wife's name is Kay, and my name is Curtis. Okay, Curtis. Couldn't find a better name.
Yeah, we've been buds since that. I mean, that was a bond that nobody else has.
All right. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Keep the questions coming. Join the race next Wednesday, noon, April 24th. Making sure I get all that right. I have a calendar up there. Make sure you join Kay. If you can make it live, great. If not, you can just participate virtually by jumping into the Facebook group when you can. So have a great day, everybody. Thanks again, Kay.
Bye-bye.